Hello everybody and welcome to YCS London. I'm Robert Grayson-Hooley, this is Matthew Bell. You may remember us both from the European Championships and very briefly the World Championships because we didn't really get time to spend together on camera, did we?
No, it feels like it's been ages.
It has been a very long time. I mean, you went to YCS Madrid.
Yes.
Without me.
Yeah, well, that's somebody else's fault, not mine. So we're here today to talk to you about YCS London. Last year that was the largest YCS we've ever run in Europe. This year we're expecting some pretty huge things. So how many people do you reckon will be here?
Well, there was around 1,500 people last time, 1,446 at least.
Around that sort of region.
Around that sort of region, so I'm expecting to smash it.
You reckon we're going to beat it?
Completely smash it.
That's a lot of players. You're going to be playing a huge number of rounds. We've got so much to expect from the competitive side of things. If we look at just what happened in Madrid, Joshua Smith winning with his Shadol deck, Shadol being one of the big three decks we expected going into that tournament.
Definitely.
This event, not so much have changed. We've still got we've got two very, very big decks that have stepped forward as the top decks in the format. We have Shadol and we have Burning Abyss. And the third deck, which is Natural Fact, where you just take the two themes and put them together and have a giant deck. As we saw Billy Brake winning with his 60 card Burning Abyss Shadol deck very recently in North American YCS. We've got so much going on. I mean, we consider the Forbidden Limited list has changed as well, so the format's also been adapted. What are your thoughts on the most recent changes?
Well, the fact that Soul Charge has gone down to 1 has really hurt quite a few decks. I didn't believe that it would actually do so much damage, but then we've seen a lot of things like Sylvan. We saw Sylvan in the top at Europeans, and now we don't see it anymore, kind of making it up there. What other decks would you say would probably utilise Soul Charge that aren't really around anymore?
Pretty much, I feel like if you can fit one in all of the top decks at the moment, you're likely to just play your one copy, but you're going to see a lot less of these really heavy combo-reliant decks that intend to play Soul Charge on the first turn before you've had a chance to play your first card. So a lot of those decks that can just blow you out of the game as early as turn 1, those have been scaled back, which is making it making this platform for Shadols and Burning Abyss to stand on top, so they're far less likely to be cheesed out of the game on turn 1.
Of course. And the massive change, which is Infernity.
Oh, yes, Infernity. From the World Championship, we saw Sahabi Karadine winning decisively 2-0 in the finals of the World Championship, and the Infernity deck has had its Archfiend limited, and Soul Charge also down to 1. A lot of people writing the deck off completely. There are some variations still running around using Infernity Randomizer to play a deck that plays just lots of back row, but I don't expect that we're going to see that doing very well this weekend. It just doesn't seem strong enough compared to the meta game.
Although, there is one deck which I have seen do quite well recently, which didn't do very well until Duelist Alliance came out, which is Battery Men.
Battery Men. Okay, do you care to elaborate on the Battery Men?
Now, what Battery Man 9 Volt actually did for Battery Man was make it incredibly consistent. Basically, when you play a 9 Volt, you can get any other Battery Man from your deck and put it straight into your hand, and that includes 9 Volt itself. Now, you can only use its effect once per turn, but once you've played it, it also doubles its own attack and then destroys itself at the end of the turn. So it automatically gets itself a limiter removal effect, as well as being able to search your deck. Now, that allows you to pull off massive combos and immediately get out 3 fuel cells and just attack to win.
So you've still got this deck that can choose your opponent, and the important thing is it doesn't need to use the extra deck.
No.
So it's not being punished by the Shadol fusions, sending multiple Shadol monsters to the graveyard and triggering lots of effects.
And there is so many cards that will get your cards from the graveyard. You've got Portable Battery Pack, which is essentially called the Haunted, but for 2 monsters.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous.
Ridiculous, yes. And with the ability to get out so many monsters, Short Circuit suddenly becomes a massively good card.
This is very true. Maybe we'll see some Battery Men players taking to the tables. Got to get around the Burning Abyss, incredibly powerful spell and trap lineup. Burning Abyss actually wasn't affected very much by the Forbidden Limited list at all, so
Not at all.
I'm expecting to see it perform actually much better than Shadol did originally. That's assuming we don't see a lot of the mashup where you've got both themes into one deck. It should be really interesting to see what happens. In actual fact, playing this weekend, we can show you some of the stuff that you can look forward to picking up. First, for anyone who enters, you'll notice if you've been playing in European YCSs, we've had a lot of these badges starting to come out. So eventually you can absolutely cover a baseball cap or one of your bags or anything. It's just a badge that says YCS London on it. They're very nice, they're very collectible. You can pick them up over the year. If you are excellent enough to make the top 32, I'll just grab this one. We have the top cut mat. Ascension Sky Dragon, which is our prize card for the current format. Very, very desirable.
Yes.
I think it's awesome. You can play it in Yangzing. Going to keep hitting that Yangzing drum until somebody hits it back.
Picks it up. Yeah.
Somebody's going to pick it up at some point. But this absolutely fantastic mat could be yours if you make it through to the top 32.
And it's a really beautiful mat as well.
Yeah, if you can just hold that one for me, please.
Sure.
And the reason that everybody's here is for the prize cards, as we have Ascension Sky Dragon. You may remember me and Oliver talking about this in YCS Madrid if you followed. But Ascension Sky Dragon is is the most current prize card. It is absolutely fantastic, and it's going out to the top 3. And the public event playoffs as well will also have an opportunity to pick one of these incredible cards up.
Now, what's its effect?
It's a synchro monster. It's 10 stars. It gains 800 attack points for each monster you use as a synchro material. And when it's destroyed, you get all of those cards, back. So you can do lots of really cool tricks, especially with Yangzing. If you summon it using lots of monsters, get a huge attack boost, then when they take it out, you can just bring all your guys back and then do something else with them.
Ridiculously powerful then.
Yes, definitely.
Especially with Glow Up Bulb back as well.
Yes, Glow Up Bulb also returning for the Forbidden List. It's one of the 2 big ones that actually came back, the only 2 big ones if I recall, Regeki being the other card. Will these cards make a competitive impact? We shall see. I expect to see Regeki played pretty much everywhere, at least in the side deck of decks if it's not in the main, because it's just so good against those rogue matchups, or even just taking out your opponent's El Shadol Construct and face down Shadol Falco.
Yeah.
Just for that little window that you can create doing such a play, I expect to see Regeki played.
It does set off a lot of Burning Abyss effects, though.
This is true, but if you get that turn where you can just break out of something, give yourself a little bit of breathing room and capitalize on it, it'll work. But I think just playing a blind Regeki is not going to be as good as it may have been maybe 10 years ago.
Definitely.
So is there anything else we should be looking forward to this weekend?
This weekend in particular, there is the Shooting Quasar mat.
Yes, we have a con exclusive for YCS, for the MCM Comic Con, which is where we are this weekend, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I don't have one here, but you'll get a chance to see one a little bit later. But that's something else there as a little memento for people to pick up.
Very, very pretty mat.
Yes,
definitely.
Right. So guys, we're expecting a lot of great duels over the weekend, and we look forward to covering all of that with you. I'll have Oliver Gurman with me. He's currently in an airport somewhere in Germany, so we expect to see him tomorrow. And yeah, it's going to be a great weekend.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy the YCS.
Or best of luck if you're playing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You should have luck.